Hello, welcome to our monthly Q&A call. This is normally all about your device. We want to help you understand the AO scan and other products that we have with Solex. But we just finished the Day of Discovery here in Orem, Utah, which was amazing. Just the last few days, we've had some jam-packed training and quality time together. So we want to share a bunch about that on this call. And then also, if you have questions about your device, we'll be getting around to that at the end. And please be sure to put those questions in the chat as we go through. For those that are watching the replay, reach out to anyone that you've seen even on this call that attended, that you're connected to in your business, and I know that they would love to catch you up even further beyond what we're doing here on this call. So if you haven't heard of this before, Day of Discovery is 2 full days here in Utah with Solex, leading all of the new products, training, so many things. I'm going to go over some of what we covered on these 2 days. And I'm so glad that Julie, Heather, and Mindy are here to help me if I forget an important point, because honestly, the biggest thing is we're blown away by how much value this company is giving, how much love they have for genuine healing and helping us easily bring more health and life to our bodies. So, so I'll go through some of this just to give you some basics. We have new products, and that's one of the fun things with this event is you see these amazing new products come out. I'm just going to highlight those if you wanted to order them, how they'll look in the back office. We'll go through some of the new products, then we'll go into the features of the AO scan that have changed and been updated. So if you'll notice this when you log into your back office, these new products here, new from Solex. So these right here are what was covered in our time together. The Infinity Wand was probably the biggest thing. If you have heard of Terahertz, I've heard of these. I've seen many friends in the wellness space use these, but I knew if I would just wait long enough, Lauren Swenson would create one that's definitely better. He takes whatever's going on or what's new with quantum health and he improves it. He loves doing that, and he's very tenacious for bringing the best to market. So that's what we have here. It's a high-powered terahertz blower. It blows air through this device that has within it semi-precious stones. It has an ionic exchange with both gold and silver plated aspects internally in the device. And then it puts it also through red light through 660 nanometers, as well as blue light at 470 nanometers. Each of those lights have health benefits to them. Right? That could be a whole other conversation. And then you can use these things as needed. You can change it. There are 4 settings available as well. And there have been other devices on the market that have been really, it almost overheats. It's too hot. And he worked hard to make sure that this won't overheat, that it'll be just right for temperature. Do y'all want to chime in with any things about the Infinity Wand? One of the first questions, and I'd love for you guys to add to this, is what's it for? Okay, cool thing. What do we do with this? I've seen and heard amazing testimonies about how this helps with pain and inflammation, how it can help repair the body at a much faster rate, let's say muscle soreness or an injury, and you're just holding this Infinity Wand about 6 inches or even 4 inches above the body to, let's say, that area. If it were my wrist, I'd be holding it here. Soon I'll have one myself and be able to demonstrate this for you, and then give testimonies with it. but how else did you all hear that it helps the body and brings balance? And maybe you experienced it while you were there.
So terahertz frequencies target those, what did he call them? Sin something. Cells that have basically forgotten their purpose. So they aren't good at doing what they used to do anymore. And so those cells can either go through the die-off process and be detoxed from the body, or they can remember their purpose and go back to functioning properly. So part of the terahertz frequency helps to detox the capillaries. And so it helps improve that circulation. Senescent cells, SENESCENT, senescent cells.
Yeah.
And those are the cells that cause inflammation because they're not doing what they are supposed to be doing. But I also love the fact that those gemstones are the gemstones for the 7 chakras. So they're not just like pretty. Of course, you can't really see them. They're inside the device, but they have purpose.
Yes.
And they all have their own healing qualities as well.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that, is that there's each of the 7 different crystals or semi-precious stones that represent the 7 chakras. It's not just quartz. He blended all of these stones to also create that healing frequency as it goes through. Anyone else want to add about the infinity wand? Okay, this is great. You'll hear more about it because it's brand new and they sold out immediately. There were like only 50 available there. So it's on back order in our back office, but soon you'll see it in hand and we'll be bringing it to our team call so you can experience it for yourself. So I want to introduce you to Blue. This is Solex Blue, and this is I actually have an amazing man sitting right next to me, my husband, who is going to explain all about Blue because we were actually already using this before before our company even changed things. So, yeah. Mike, if you want to share about it.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. And so here's the bottle of Solex Blue. You can see I'm wearing my,
I have it on my tongue.
It stains your tongue blue. If you're not familiar with methylene blue, don't mind if I read a couple things here though, because I have notes. It's a laboratory made dye that was created in like 1888 or late 1800s. And I don't know who, I can't remember the story, but somebody figured, let's see what we can do with this for medical purposes, which is really interesting. But it is FDA approved to treat methylglobemia, which is a blood condition where your blood, the red blood cells can't hold and deliver oxygen, right, or enough oxygen. So this helps. So now we'll get into that. If you think about that, what it does, right, with capturing oxygen, it's very important. So strange name, but it was a dye. Other things that come up over the years, people have been trying to use it and test it on different diseases because they realized it does so much when you take it for this methylglobemia. It's used to treat malaria, parasites, different bacterial strains in your body. So it's pretty wild stuff. It's anti-inflammatory, and it is oxygenating to the body, which is, we know oxygen can have some anti-cancer properties within the body. So I'm not saying there's a correlation, but you can make your own correlation there between high oxygen in your body and reducing your risk of cancers. It's mostly used with an infusion in blood. So like they'll give it to you in like an IV. But there's other ways to have it as well. You can put it on your skin. Obviously oral. It will stain your tongue for a little bit and then it kind of goes away. So just things to think about there.
And that's how we have it administered.
Right.
This is an oral way to use it, and you just spray it on your tongue about like 5 to 10
pumps.
10 pumps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you shake it really good too. It works by helping convert red blood cells into a form that will properly carry and release oxygen. So there's a pathway in your genes, in the mitochondria, where there's a lot of processes to get to something at the end called ATP, which is the energy part of the mitochondria, because the mitochondria is your factory for energy. So a lot of us don't have, let's say, as you age, you reduce the ability to make ATP, which is why you get tired as you get older. So you start to reduce the ability to convert and carry the oxygen throughout your body, which is why we age, really, right? So this has some anti-aging properties to it, as well as it skips all of these steps in the factory and goes right to ATP. So your gene expression has like 5 pathways to take oxygen and do stuff with it to get to ATP. This skips those steps and goes right to just ATP, where now you're transferring oxygen throughout the cells throughout your body. So it's super important for that. It's also used, like I said, for malaria, nail fungus. People use it, they use it in shock. When someone's in shock, they can use it because it helps to bring oxygen back in a low oxygen state. It's not listed for this, but it can help with COVID, right? So people have taken it that have had COVID, and in a couple of days, they don't have COVID. So I'm not saying that they're correlated, because I don't think we're allowed to, but make your own conclusions, right?
And you can look up
There's different studies.
Studies from Dr. Matt Bennett. He is the doctor associated with our company who presented, and he saw 100% recovery with a government conducted study that he was sent to. That was part of what was presented, is that he was sent to Mexico City to work with methylene blue. And he was seeing 100% recovery with his COVID patients. Y'all can look that up. We need to get a link to that study.
Yeah, we should.
But it's massive. Anyway, I get so excited.
So it also helps with things like Alzheimer's, right? Because Alzheimer's is, part of how that happens is the cells in the brain aren't getting probably enough oxygen over time, and then you have some cell die-off, right? And the glial cells in the brain that are responsible, the neurons that are responsible, aren't working properly. So you get Alzheimer's. Memory loss, obviously dementia type things are related to that. The antioxidant properties of methylene blue help with that. Lyme disease as well, because it's antibiotic, antimicrobial, anti-inflammation, which is all what happens when you have Lyme disease. So a lot of really good stuff there. It promotes blood circulation and the movement of it as well. Obviously, oxygen flow. It boosts your cognitive ability, so it's a nootropic. Promotes memory function. So obviously, if you're going to increase oxygen and blood flow, you're going to have better memory and concentration, and then also your cell lifespan, how long the cells live. It improves that. So taking blue, 10 pumps right into the mouth after you shake it. I forgot to even say, it also has colloidal silver, gold, and
minerals in it.
What was the other colloidal? Copper. There was colloidal copper in it as well. So it's a different formulation than others, because they said it right on stage when we watched it, and they said, you can buy methylene blue on Amazon. It is not going to be the highest quality,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
you're going to
it's
have some stuff in it, possibly, you could have some heavy metals, mercury, and others that you don't want to have. It only meets like a very low standard in order to be even sold to the public. This is the highest standard. It's kind of atomized, if you will, on the cellular level, like nano, so that your body can absorb it more. So that's very cool as well. Again, just make sure you shake it up because it does have those other things in it. You want to make sure it's evenly dispersed. So
Yeah.
I'm wearing the 660 band, and apparently, and I don't remember exactly why, and maybe someone else could chime in here, but what the different wavelengths of red light do to the blood, because this goes right through, and this was something cool that he did on stage, which was he took it off and he shows how it goes through the fingers, right? Not just the creases, but you can see through the skin, like through the bone, how deep this light goes. So it does go into the bloodstream when you have it on here, and it gives your blood the red light, which I think helps the absorption, and it almost multiplies. It multiplies the effect that the methylene blue has, right?
It does.
So that's something to keep in mind. So
Yeah.
I would use these together, and then we didn't get. Maybe we'll segue into this, and I can go grab it if we don't have it. Oh, you have it right there.
Yeah.
So pulse.
So that is and did anybody want to add to that about methylene blue?
Juliana, I have a real quick little testimony.
Yeah.
So the day that they gave it to us, well, before they gave it to us, I was getting a cold sore on the inside of my lip, and they had mentioned viruses. And so, and then they gave us a sample. So I thought, I'm not going to run frequencies for this, for my cold sore, and I'm going to see if this helps. Well, by the end of the day, it felt like it was going away a little rather than just starting, it was still there. And the next day, it was a little bit better. And by the third day, it's gone. It's totally gone.
That's awesome. And we went through a lot. We had like 14-hour days. So
yes.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Because they passed around these little blue samples during the event. So we all got to try them out.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in your back office as well. You can be ordering that now. That is $50. I believe if you get that one auto ship for monthly, it's even less. It's a great price for the quality of this product
and it can be used every day. It's something that you can use every day. I typically like to take a day off, like every Sunday from all supplements. I think it's just a good idea to let the body kind of balance out and get rid of any excess that you have without kind of taxing your system. So skipping a day, you'll probably notice after you've been on it for 6 days and then you take that 7th day, you might be like, I kind of like the memory boost and the energy that you get from it. So maybe you can do methylene blue every day. I don't know. For me, I'm going to try to take a day off. I think it's good to do that. But what I was going to say before was mixing it with, this is Pulse, which is a nitric oxide niacin pump. This helps to open the circulatory system, so it helps to dilate your capillaries and your arteries and your veins to allow more movement of blood. It'll help lower blood pressure a little bit too, not to the point you have to be nervous, but enough to really give a higher level of circulation. So it'll open up those pathways to really get methylene blue or other nutrients down into your cells. So this also helps fight inflammation as well. And if you do the two together or within an hour of each other, you're really going to see a marked feeling of well-being and energy, not just brain-wise, but body-wise, which is very cool.
And this one's also available in your back office. it just works with a lot of other things. I feel like I'm going to be using it as a mid-afternoon boost instead of going for coffee. I'm going to, or something else like that. I've had just such a nice increase in energy when I use Pulse, and you can see some of the ingredients here. You'll notice in the taste, kind of the beetroot comes through. It's not, some supplements taste awful. This one's not that bad. It's not the best ever either. And the price on this is pretty amazing at $35. I don't know how it's that low of a price, but it's really good.
But go back for a second to the ingredients, just so you can see. So citrulline and arginine also help with your vascular system, right? So it's going to help. The beetroot lowers blood pressure, right? Ornithine as well. Looks like we have spinach and a whole herb extract there, which obviously are just healthy for you anyway. So it's a really good blend. And then obviously the niacin in your body, it is a nitric oxide producer. So some people experience flushing. There's
where you turn red.
You'll turn red a little bit in your face because, again, you're opening those capillaries and you're allowing blood to come to the surface. So you might feel warm. You might almost have like a hot flash. But think about what that is. You're getting blood throughout your whole body, all of those little tiny capillaries that may have been closed, which you're going to have, decaying, dying skin, or other parts of your body will have slower cell response because they don't have enough oxygen. This opens it up. So your blood is moving throughout all of these little areas. And if you mix that with the blue, then you're really getting all of that stuff right to where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So very cool.
It's really awesome. Any other things to add? Who is there?
They also did mention that it's safe for people with the MTHFR gene issue, that it wasn't a problem with that.
Right.
Yes.
And that brings up a good point. So I have MTHFR, which means I don't recycle or detox toxins out of my body very easily. So it takes a lot of work to make sure I'm, sweating, eating clean foods. I'm trying to detox, chlorella, all that kind of stuff, right? To help chelate stuff out of my body. When you have MTHFR, things will recycle in the body. So what's cool, the only benefit of having MTHFR is when you take blue, it stays in the body very long. And this particular formulation stays in the body longer than a standard formulation. So I feel kind of lucky to have MTHFR, which I never thought I'd say, because this stays in the body longer. So I get more benefit out of this by having this in my body.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that, Heather. And
yeah,
Mindy, did you have something you want to add?
Yeah, back to blue just for a second. I was just remembering that Shelby on stage was saying add a drop of blue to your bright and then use the red wand. So, or the red light or your illuminator. So if it's providing, more oxygen to your system and helping with cellular turnover, that will be great for your skin, right?
Yeah. And then I know they're coming out with, they talked about having a cream version. So, I mean, maybe it'll be mixed with bright anyway. But yeah, putting a drop on now, the only concern I would have in doing that would be
it is a dye.
It's a dye, right? So if you get it on your clothes, it's going to take several washes if it comes out at all. If you get it on your skin, on your tongue, on your finger, like I did.
But bright is full of vitamin C. And so how do they tell you to get rid of it in your mouth?
Right.
Is to chew the vitamin C.
Right. So we did a test too on the we did blackberries. So we chewed up a bunch of blackberries when it was on our teeth, and it got rid of
the blue
because there is some vitamin C in the blackberries, right? So that helps. But yeah, to your point, Mindy, that's a great idea with the bright with vitamin C, and it'll keep from being on your skin too much.
Yeah.
You won't look like a Smurf.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
But my daughter wants to be a Smurf for Halloween. So
Well, there you go.
might be healthier than makeup or paint.
And now
Yeah.
who knows how long she would be a Smurf for.
Yeah.
That's true.
Awesome. So these are our new products. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for helping with all
Thanks,
that.
everyone.
I promised I wouldn't keep him the whole time, but those are our main new products, and yet there's more. And anything else before we move on to what's in the device?
On the blue, the dye is a safe dye. It's not like the blue dyes that we've all been warned about.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's medical grade. It's been used for like over 100 years to treat many things, and that's what Mike was touching on. There's a rich history behind this. We've just enhanced it, and I'm very proud of this product that we now have in our line. So great. So besides that, we had some amazing new things rolled out in the scanner, and you may have already seen that in your AO scan. So there's a whole new button in our lineup. As you may have heard me say before, this is a wellness center in your hands. Every one of these buttons is like going into a different room, and almost like sometimes it's a totally different modality. Like SEFI is going to do one thing, inner voice is going to do a different thing. AO MindSync, right here at the bottom, is a whole new arena that has to do with sound therapy. We already have inner voice, which helps to harmonize the body based off of the frequencies in the voice. Now we're going to start creating custom affirmations that is synchronized with some background music. You can choose what track you want to listen to. I encourage you to go back here and experiment with them. And then there is this offset of hertz. You can turn it off right here or do low, mid, or high. And I'll just show you how this works. I'll walk you through that. And friends, if you remember some little facts here, just interrupt me, because there was so much covered in each one of these things we're sharing. It's just really rich what all we have. So you can choose an affirmation script. So let's just say I started with, we'll do morning affirmations. And then I hit record custom affirmation. And what I do is read this out. My confidence is contagious. I am surrounded by love. I believe in myself. I embrace all the possibilities today brings. So I could keep going for the next 60 seconds. As you saw, there was a countdown, but you can also just hit stop if you just want to do like 3 things on repeat. You don't have to read exactly what that script says. You can have your own that you're reading off. Any affirmations that you know specifically you need for changing your subconscious and changing certain things that have been issues for you. Now you can make your custom as well. And then you'll just hit play to play that. Do is read this out. My confidence is contagious. And I am surrounded by, I'm not sure if you can hear that, because sometimes it doesn't work when I'm playing from the computer and on a Zoom call. But this, you can choose the volume of the music, the volume of your own voice that's being played back to you. And then you can choose to offset the hertz, whether it's low, mid, or high. Now, when you are listening to these, you want to make sure that you have headphones. I'm looking for mine. They're not nearby right now, but you want to be wearing this, listening with headphones, because it's going to put frequencies and sounds different with the offset hertz. And you want to choose the hertz based on where it feels like you're hearing your voice in the middle of your head, or you're hearing it like in the center of your head. So you can choose and play around with those until you're hearing it as if it's right in the center. And those offset of hertz is going to help balance the brain, help create even more synapses in receiving this information and helping to shift your subconscious. It's just wonderful. I know y'all have stuff to add, and I know that I hope that everybody on the call has started to use this. What?
I couldn't do the you can't change the offset after it's recorded, is what I was experiencing. So I think it's worthwhile to like do an affirmation and then play it back and see how it sounds, and then make some adjustments, and then go in and do, like, if you want a longer one, to see, like, for me, I would have liked the music up a little bit more and the voice down a little bit more, and the offset wasn't quite right when I was working with it this morning. And yeah, if you don't listen with headphones, it's a strange experience.
Yeah. Yeah, you do want to listen to it with headphones, because yeah, there's like I hear it's like an echo chamber, right? If you don't have that.
Juliana, can I just pop in and say something?
Yes, please.
So for anyone that does, any practitioners that do Psych K, or if you're an emotion code or body code practitioner and you know about the new belief code that's coming out, this is basically Psych K, or the belief code, in the AO scan. So it's amazing because it's helping your left brain and right brain be able to speak to each other. So your whole brains to the statements that you are repeating, whether it's the ones on here or whether it's the affirmations that you have come up with on your own. And this is phenomenal. Like the changes that people will see by doing this are just incredible. And so when you're coming up with your own affirmations or reading these affirmations, when you are speaking them, if you can speak them with emotion, that you actually are feeling those affirmations, you'll have even better results.
That's great point. It's true. It's a game changer to be able to do this. I like you said, I mean, for anybody who does this in practice, this also can be something that you charge your clients for, and then they're using between sessions with you, that now they're getting those affirmations. The thing is, we want to make sure it's recorded in their voice. Yes, you could send it to them in your voice, which is fine, but optimal would be them sending you a voice recording of them reading off their affirmations. Then you could play it from your phone. Like here, I'd be playing it to my computer, and using the AO scan on my computer, and then I would record their custom affirmation under their profile within the AO scan, record that affirmation of them speaking out of this, and then you can email it to them. I hope you guys can see this little email box right up here. Then you can email it to them, and it's just huge. They're getting all this benefit between sessions that you have with them. Or, I mean, anyone you know is struggling with anxiety, depression, self-worth, this is ideal for them. And just one thing, and maybe one of you guys would like to share on, why is it so important that it be in the person's voice? What was it about that was so key? I'm drawing you guys into it. Okay, well, maybe there we go, Mindy.
Well, Lauren was talking about the order of voices to listen to God, to listen to yourself, and then others. And so you're internalizing your own voice in a different way. Because we also have all that self-talk that can be negative, and we believe the words that we say, whether they're positive or negative. And I just think about how the new pulse file and inner voice has tones from our own voice. So I think about that on a homeopathic level, that, like cures like, are giving back to us what we are putting out to help balance that.
Yes, that's huge. It's huge. As we communicate from our voice and to ourselves. And I just want to agree. I'm glad you brought that up, that Lauren was saying, number one, we need to hear from the voice of God. That is our number one connection. Number two, yeah, our own voice. And that we are already, I was thinking about AO MindSync. You're already programming yourself every day. We already are being programmed by the things we're listening to or subjecting ourselves to, whether we're watching the news or watching certain shows on TV or certain sounds we listen to. We're subjecting ourselves to a certain degree of programming. This is a new and beautiful, assertive way to program your subconscious in a very powerful way. I can't wait for the testimonies. I know what's coming. I know it's a massive breakthrough. So this alone is outstanding. Also, we have other things, and I'm going into AO, the SEFI, subtle energy frequency imprinter, and we have added a number of Homeo-Energetix to this. Is a combination of frequency programs. So each one of these are pretty robust programs. They have a lot of homeopathics combined with natural remedies. We've gathered the best herbal remedies from around the planet. We imprinted and got the frequency of each one of those remedies and partnered it with these homeopathic remedies. I'm actually grabbing my notes. Maybe one of you guys who was there could add to this, because there are some key ones. I love all of them that are new. This list keeps getting longer. And I want to just speak to the beauty and my joy of getting to be with a company that keeps giving us more. The subscription is $150 a month, and they keep adding to the value. Almost every month they make improvements, but every 6 months a major improvement comes out, like we just received. So we got a bunch of new Homeo-Energetic frequencies, and then we got the MindSync that you saw. Who wants to speak to a few of these that have been added to the list, because this just keeps getting better? Because if not,
Nobody else is gonna speak up, I'll speak up. So they were a combination of homeopathics, and I think all of them had 20 supporting herbal remedies for drainage. So it's a good combination of, you know, a detox that's not just the homeopathic that's helping the body to eliminate those things, but the supporting the detox pathways to be able to take out what the homeopathics are helping to get out of the bottom. Hey.
Yeah, it's both. It's both. It's helping to open up those pathways. There are so many. I'm hoping that they will put out a video, because Deb Bruce presented on this and she gave the fine details of what was in each one of these, like ADD, ADHD. We didn't have that before. It's amazing. That has 24 homeopathics and 24 frequencies for drainage that you were just talking about. Anti-stress is a new one, just to help run supporting the body that's in stress. And I could go through a list of, like maybe 20 more that are just phenomenal. We have one for prostate support, the protozoa Travs Plus. That one's about helping with parasites while you're traveling. And if you're like, well, what does it do? You see how I just clicked it there, and okay, they haven't updated it yet. Most of the time, and very soon they will have like pesticide detox, I can click on the info box right there and it tells me about that specific frequency and what it's working for. I love to do pesticide detox on any new plants I bring into my home or roses that I have. Or if you've been working out farming or something, you want to do that pesticide detox, bacteria detox. These ones are ones we've had, but soon they'll have explanations for the new ones as well. Anything to add there?
On the body systems one, I thought was really cool. She said that that supports all 9 body systems, and that it's just kind of a I don't remember exactly how she explained it, but just kind of like an underlying support for everything to help everything else that you're doing work better. That was one of my favorites.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I love that there's times where we're like, I don't know which one I need. And this is one that this is a great go-to. This could also be broadcast to a pet or even to a group of people if you know that they were all just needed some health support. Like I've got my mom's house here, so it could be broadcast to anyone that is staying in my mom's house or any of these things. You can add like Herschel or Stella is a dog. And so you can just, sometimes we don't know what's happening with our dogs. So we just do like body system support. Any other things to add here? Okay. Well, and besides this, I almost forgot there's a whole other thing in body systems. This one's huge. Have heard about it for a couple of years, and now it's been done. We can do our hormone panel right here. Scan and optimize. Yes, I'm giving you an example with my own. It's going to help all of us dial in our hormones more. You can see the body systems report, and then you can see where the hormones are. Anything that is over 40% is where you really want to pay attention to those areas. And that sets you on a learning experience, finding out more about that aspect of your hormones, how to better support that in your body. But you cannot find anywhere else access to your hormone panel than right here at the touch of a button. It was advised that what we want to do in order to get a good read on the body, because this is a new aspect of the device, the technology interacting with your body, you want to do this morning, noon, and night for 3 days in a row. After that, you can better trust the accuracy of the readout. We want to just do different times a day for 3 days. And then after that, you can have a better understanding of what's going on here. This is like only the second time I've run my hormone panel, so I still need to do that for the next 3 days. I would add that to your protocol for the next 3 days so that you've got that dialed in and you're getting a better read on what's going on with your hormones. Anyone want to add to hormones? Again, I'm just so in awe of how this continues to improve. I've been a part of this company for 2 years and 9 months, and it just gets better and better. I'm glad you're here now, because in a year and 2 years, it's going to be even more almost incomprehensible, because he has so much packed in here. And I want to dial this down. If you're overwhelmed with all that we have in the scanner, just focus on a daily routine. And I advise simply do the easy scan daily. And then after you've done that easy scan, do the inner voice scan or listen to the results of that. after you've done your scan, it'll show up like this. And then you want to be sure to listen to the pulse cycle. This is going to help balance your brain and body based on what your voice was sharing that's happening in your body, in your emotions, in your mind. Now you created unique sound therapy to listen to. So do that daily is a great start. And then you start to expand it into all of these other aspects of the device. So anything else to add on our updates with the technology? I think these are the main ones. So great. I think this covers a lot of it. I would like each one of you to just think of a couple of things that have been big for you or your experience, and it may not have happened. Like Heather, Julie, Mindy, I'd like you to each share what was significant for you, or how, like, maybe even a change you're experiencing in your life moving forward in your business. And I'd just love for each of you to share that. I'm going to share a couple things while you're thinking about that. There was amazing training as well. We got to hear from some of the top leaders in the company. I would like to highlight Jessica Zavallos and Beck McQuilty created, this is also in your back office, I got to show you too. For those that want to build the business and expand it with strategy, where you want some clarity, what do I do next? What do I do today? Then you want to be sure to pick up this, I'm looking for it in the back office. It is a daily way of, it's a day timer. It's like a daily way of checking off exactly what you're doing to be using that. I bet it's in tools, documents, and media. Let's just see. Shareable QLA marketing. And we do have lots of things in here. If you do need a trifold brochure, it's already done for you in the back office. Business development. Let's see where it went. We have business tools. And here we go, Solex planners. So this is free to you now. And we have a planner and the tracker. So the business tracker helps you track your business. But the planner, I'm just going to open this up so you can see it. I've been using this for the last few months. I love how specific it is. It makes no question on what I should be doing every day. It clarifies it right on these pages and helps you to move forward in your business. And we talk about the AO mindset, of what it means to being a business owner, because your why is very important. So you start by clarifying your why, and then you have your daily schedule. So like Monday, we focus on tasks to do. You've got your schedule right there, what you're grateful for. And this right here is a key question. What is the one thing I can do today that will have the greatest impact on my business? So it really not only helps you see what you need to do, but prioritize it. And then you've got these little tick offs for making sure you do your easy scan in the morning and you listen to your inner voice a couple times, as well as stay hydrated. And then we also have notes on the next page, each one of these daily. Who have you scanned today? What are your income producing activities? Who are your new customers, prospects, or leads? And who have you followed up with? Teammates to message, and then even adding a reflection at the end of the day. It's all laid out. So easy for you. Highly recommend downloading this and getting it printed at a local place. So also the business tracker is very helpful as well. So many resources. We had none of this in the beginning. You're here at a special time. This is going to help you. You want to move your business forward. For sure, print these out and start doing this daily. So just tossing the ball to one of you that would like to share what were some keys that you walked away from this weekend with. How did it impact your life?
So I'll go first. I love the new energy Homeo-Energetix. Like I use that section all the time. So to have even more there is just phenomenal, especially the nervous system support and the anti-stress. I think that will be phenomenal for a lot of my clients, and the hormone balancing. There's one for menopause, I believe, in there. So those will be great. But I think probably my favorite is the MindSync. So I already spoke a bit about that. I'm really passionate about that piece. It's really exciting. And then, you know, one other tip to share about that to make it even that much more powerful is while listening to it, cross your feet one over the other at the ankles, and then cross your hands over each other as well, so that you're crossing midline with both of your extremities while listening, and that will make it even more powerful. Like I'm just so excited about the MindSync.
That's awesome. So great. Thanks for sharing. And Julie, I'm going to come back to you and ask as well. Do you have any greater clarity about your business and what outside of the actual Solex event was impactful or good for you? So Heather and then Mindy.
Yeah, I agree with Julie. The MindSync I think is huge, and Julie helped explain it to me, and maybe Julie, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you had a few seconds to go even deeper, like into why the syncing of the mind, this is much more than us saying affirmations to ourselves. You know, that this is really changing our brains and the way that we think and what we believe and what we're able to focus on and grow, you know, in our minds. And I think it's going to be incredibly powerful. Just even more so combined with everything else. That was another thing that really struck me, was just how everything fits together so well with what they're doing. And even the notebooks, the journals, that you were just showing, you know, helps us keep on track with ourselves. And are we doing inner voice? Are we doing our scans? You know, are we running the things we need to for ourselves? Because sometimes we forget about ourselves, you know, we're focused on other people. And I think that there's even a section in there, I believe, for the affirmations, which can go a whole nother level now with MindSync. And the blue added in there, and you know, just everything just works so well. And I couldn't be more excited just about all of it. And also I feel so good after using these products for a couple days, you know, and doing the MindSync and all of that. So I'm just so excited for where it's going.
Awesome. Awesome. And how about you, Mindy?
Favorite part in the conference? That is hard. I think more than anything, it wasn't necessarily, oh, I think this product is the best. Oh, I can't believe they added this to the scanner. It was kind of what Heather was saying. Are integrated. It was the whole energy of the experience. Being with people who are wholehearted but transparent. I mean, seeing Shelby on stage playing that video of her daughter walking, to hearing Lauren answer questions that he can't legally answer, and hearing him speak about you know, our frequency is evil, and how do you know where it's coming from something good? And he just says, you know, middle C is middle C. It was a deepening of how good all the things are. They're good products, but there's good people behind them, and there's good motivation and intention behind them, and there's good results from them, and there's good pay for that. I was reading the book that you gifted us on the plane, and one of her affirmations that's in kind of the beginning of the book, and one of the stories was that I have wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give good service for good pay, or I give great service for great pay. And they made that easy. It is wonderful work to do. It's happening in an amazing way because it's mobile, portable, can reach anywhere, and it is worthy of great pay. So that was kind of my take on it. I can't pick a favorite of the other things, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I should have said this earlier to give you all some context. We stayed in a house. I rented an Airbnb. I invited initially like the top leaders that I'm working with, and then we expanded it a little more. And Julie, Heather, and Mindy were part of this house where we stayed and spent a lot of quality time together besides going to the conference, sharing a lot of meals, wonderful conversations around that, so that it's not just attending an event experience within our team. We want it to be a community creation experience. So did y'all want to add anything else to that, if that was significant or not, or how that was for you?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was so nice to be able to connect with people rather than being in a hotel and everybody just back to their own rooms, just to, be all together and have that great conversation and community. Conversations that probably wouldn't happen if we were just in a hotel all going back to our rooms. So it was really nice. I really appreciate all your effort, Juliana. Thank you for putting all of that together and finding it's a beautiful house to stay in. Wow, that was incredible.
Okay, thanks. And three of us, Heather, Julie, and I, had our husbands with us as well, and they went on an adventure one day. And that also speaks to a holistic perspective of families. We want to honor and cherish and maximize our families, because it's not all business and work. It's also, it's all the bigger vision for our lives we're creating together. So, anything else to add?
Tammy was saying that was one thing that she missed. My friend and teammate who came and was not feeling so well was like, I really wanted to have more of those conversations, but I didn't feel well and I needed to lay down. And she was sad to have missed that, but grateful for all the times that she did get to interact with everybody, and I did as well. There was a lot of learning and popcorning of ideas that don't happen necessarily as easily when we're separated. So it was great.
And I don't know if you want me to touch on what Heather had said about explaining the MindSync a little bit more, but the reason why it's so powerful is because it stimulates the left brain and the right brain. So when we're just saying affirmations, we're only using one side of our brain. We're just using the logical side to repeat affirmations. And often that doesn't work because there's no emotion there. So you need the emotional side and the logical side to come together to be whole brained to a statement in order for it to become real. And that is what MindSync is doing. It's stimulating the left brain, and right brain, enabling your whole brain to understand the statements that you're repeating. And that makes things become true, which is magic.
Huge.
Thank you, Julie. That's amazing. That right there shows, how just impactful and important this weekend was, because those types of conversations helped take everything I was learning and hearing to a new level, and Mindy as well, and just everyone. The knowledge base that was in that house blew my mind. And I learned so much from these little conversations. And then even on a personal side, my own health, I was able to, bounce ideas and questions and all kinds of things. And Julie was everyone was just so helpful, and it was amazing on many levels. And to go back real quick to the integrity thing that Mindy was talking about, I have felt from the beginning that this was a company with integrity. But after last weekend, like, I have seen it, I've experienced it. I had multiple conversations with Kai and with Lauren and with Shell. These people, they're there, they care, they want to talk to you, they want to help you. They're not selling a product. They really care about people and their health.
Mm-hmm. And to build on that, something that Lauren said that I've said to my clients too, right? There are many frequency devices out there. They all work. They do. Their frequencies, they're amazing. It's just that the AO scan has so much to offer. In my opinion, it's the best out there. But other frequency, they all work. So it's not really a competition. It's just that they have developed this so much and so deeply that they have just so much more to offer than what I've seen in other modalities. It's just incredible. And like you say, they're wholehearted. They are beautiful people, and their mission is to help people.
Mm-hmm. I can testify to that on so many levels, just having been here for a while. But I love, like you guys said, each having been there at the event, getting FaceTime with these leaders that are behind the company, having conversations and discovering, wow, it really lines up for me. And that was huge for me. I just can't be selling anything that I'm not in total alignment with and that adheres to the level of integrity I want in what we're doing in wellness. So I am so grateful we got to share that time. I'd encourage anybody who's watching this to decide now that you won't miss out on this next September. Just start that planning, make that commitment. It is always a sacrifice in different ways to get there, but it's worth it. The synergy, the connections you make in this space it's hard to put words to. Like, we're still so fresh to it. We've barely even had time to process it, but I know it's been significant. For me, it does feel like a greater point of life change, and I just don't even have words for it yet. But there's something so powerful about being in the room with like-hearted, like-minded, very tenacious, and about 90% women. It's mainly women that are just determined to find root cause solutions. We've been through it before, and we're gathered together with all of these different modalities, and we're just popcorning ideas so that we are helping all of our lives expand and grow and support. And we need community. We need to be around other people that are crazy enough to believe in frequencies and see and share it with the world. And we just spark new connections and opportunities by being together. So I want to say thank you guys for being here, for listening. I know this call did go a bit over time. I try and keep it within an hour, but we're going to continue to do these. We'll focus more on Q&A with the device in the future. But again, if you have any more questions, reach out to one of us. But for sure, plan to be there next year. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.